Why, hello. I love the beach. It's my happy place. And it's no secret that I love food too.
A good meal can make my heart sing.
Do the lasagna.
And soothe my soul.
Yeah, come on, come on.
So I'm getting out and about.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Meeting some amazing people.
I like it hot and spicy.
Producing wonderful, feel-good food.
I'm a happy boy.
I'll be sending my friend and fellow chef, Joseph Dennison Carey, off in search of some inspirational stories of his own.
Slav, I want another one, is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got plenty to share.
All the amazing characters and flavours we discover will inspire me to conjure up a treasure chest of delicious dishes
Chicky.
that I know will put a smile on your face too.
So join me on my travels and in my kitchen for some good mood food. Hello, I'm feeling fruity today because all of my dishes are going to include beautiful berries and fantastic fruits. Oh yes, I'm going to be introducing some wonderful flavours and just proving to you that they're great in savoury dishes as well as delicious desserts. Coming up on today's show, I visit Mel to find out about her fabulous fruity lollies. I make a tasty dessert. That's the essence of a British summer. Joseph checks out another summer classic, strawberries.
That is incredibly sweet.
I make a celebration of fruits and berries with my sensational summer puddings. Oh boy! And bring a touch of the Middle East to my Cornish beach kitchen with Persian spatchcock chicken with jewelled rice. Now, first up is a vegan dish that's packed full of fruits and goodness. It really is so heartwarming. It's my jackfruit, butterbean, okra and pimento pot. Now, I've started off here with my onions and I've cooked them down, chopped them up, diced it up, and I've popped it into some coconut oil, all right? Cooked it very, very gently over a kind of medium heat, nothing too high, no colour on there. To that, I'm going to add my Scotch bonnet pepper. Look at this guy. I absolutely love this. For me, Scotch bonnet pepper is not just about the heat, it's also about the flavour. Just pop it in whole and it won't release too much of that heat. All right, what about garlic? Grate that garlic straight into our pan. And a little bit of ginger going in there too. And I've got here some turmeric. I'm literally going to be putting in about 1/4 spoon and just popping that in there like that. And check out these bad boys here. I've got some allspice here, I've got some cinnamon and a bit of fresh thyme. And those allspice berries, really, really love them. Gives you a flavour of kind of nutmeg and cinnamon, you know, all of those type of different things that come together. Really, really lovely. Look at that colour now. Can you see just that little bit of turmeric? What's happening there? Beautiful. And something else that I'd like to use here that perhaps you don't see a lot of is, you know, the stalks that you get on the end of your coriander? I'm putting that in, not the leaves. That goes in much later on. Just chop them like that. Take our stalks and we're just putting our stalks in there. Keeping the leaves back, I'm going to be using those a little bit later. Now, a lot of people don't know about jackfruit. Here it is. Now, this is the tin variety of jackfruit. When they tin it up, it sometimes goes this colour. Still wonderful. Absorbs lots and lots of flavour. And it really is good. And a lot of people see it as part of making your meal quite substantial. A lot of vegans do, and it's very, very healthy. OK, now that's cooking down. Fantastic. I've got my butter beans. They're going in, along with some red and yellow pepper. So I'm just going to chop that up. You know what the rule is, just down there. And so I'm just going to remove a little bit of that. There we are. So we've got the red pepper and your yellow pepper in with your jackfruit. That's great. Some sweet potato. There you go. Love sweet potato too. Cooks so much quicker. Probably twice as fast as normal potato. All of that's going in there. Yeah, it's smelling fantastic, guys. It really is. Lots of wonderful flavours going on there. And look at that, we've got the cinnamon's in there making a presence, looking very good, sticking its head out going, I'm here. There you go. Tomatoes, let's just chop those up and pop them in. Packed full of flavour and all that nutritional value that you're going to get in there. I mean, this is really, really good stuff, guys. Don't forget, tomatoes are also a fruit They're going in there. They're looking fantastic. Now, this is on a fairly high heat now. I just want to turn that up and look at all of that wonderful colour and flavour that's in there. Anyway, I'm going to pop in that bit of stock now that I've got here. OK, in we go with that stock. And I've also got some muscovado sugar here. Yeah, we're going to kick it up a little bit with a little bit of sweetness. Here it is, just to sprinkle that in here like that. And I just want to bring that up to the boil now. Then we'll reduce that down, let that simmer for 7 or 8 minutes. Hit it with a bit of coconut milk, a little bit of okra, squeeze in the lime, and we'll have a pepper pot delight. Fantastic. OK, look at that, cooking down, vibrancy of colour and everything, and of course all the wonderful flavour in there. I've got some okra, ladies' fingers if you like, that I've got here. I'm just going to cut those into pieces about, I don't know, 1.5, 2 centimetres maybe. Talking about getting some flavour and texture into your dish. Okra works every time for me. And I'm just going to pop that into our pan here. And now, what I want to add, a touch of that coconut to it. Look at that, beautiful. Really, really lovely. And again, you're going to turn down to a very, very low heat and just let that cook for about 15 or 20 minutes. Then we're going to finish it off with some spinach and a squeeze of lime juice. Now, look at that. And this is what you get, guys. Look at that. Wow, now check that out. You can see that the jackfruit there has held its shape. Not only has it held its shape, it's soaked up some of those wonderful flavours that we've put into the pan. There you go. Oh, and look at this bad boy here. That's the Scotch bonnet pepper. You put that in whole, so all the lovely flavour, the heat and everything else, it's infused its way into the pepper pot there, but you don't need to leave it in there. Of course, that's going to be quite hot, so just take that out. What about this? A nice bit of fresh lime juice. I'm just going to take my lime and I'm going to squeeze the juice of the lime into our beautiful pimento pot. That's it, that will add some real freshness to it. Blend that through. What about these? Remember earlier on? I said I'm not going to put those in too early. Well, now's your chance, guys. Then take that coriander and sprinkle it into your pot and serve up. I've got some spinach here. What I like to do, though, is to take some and put that into the base of your bowl, because the heat that comes from that will wilt that beautifully. Check that out, isn't that gorgeous? Perfect. Beautiful. Ah, there you have it. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Good for the soul and full of flavour. It's my jackfruit, butterbean and okra pimento pot. Oh, so healthy. Ooh. I cooked it for you. Enjoy. Today is filled with fruits of all kinds in both savoury and sweet dishes. I make summer puddings, the perfect way to celebrate British berries. And finally, I fire up the barbecue to make a delicious spatchcocked chicken. First, I'm off to Plymouth to meet Mel at Ollie Lolly to find out what goes into her summer treats. On a hot summer's day, nothing quite beats the taste of an ice lolly. So I'm off to meet Mel at Ollie Lolly to find out how she packs the fruit into her icy treats. Why did he start it up?
Well, it was actually my son. He's a real fan of lollies and not really of ice cream. And we were just on a family walk and we sort of stopped at this ice cream van and they had gourmet ice cream and gourmet coffee, all these lovely Devon products. They didn't have any decent lollies. They just sort of had a blue one and a toffee one, which neither of which were very refreshing. And he was like, oh, I won't have anything. And me and my husband did always quite fancy sort of doing a brand, doing, you know, something foodie. And we just looked at each other and thought, surely, you know, there's a gap in the market. Like, why isn't there gourmet lollies?
How many flavours have you got in the range?
Well, we're doing 5 this year. We're kind of sticking with the 5 best sellers.
And so what is the most popular lolly then?
I think probably the mango. It's such a classic. You know, you get mango sorbets and things, don't you, as well, and that's really popular. But with ours, we've put a special bit of raspberry in just to add a bit of tang, so it's not quite as sweet as traditional mango. But yeah, it's really popular. And I think probably the lemonade one as well. I mean, just thinking about our range, I really held on to the fact I wanted some really tart ones that sometimes appeal a bit more to adults, and then some of the sweet, like mango ones that the kids really love. So the lemonade's brilliant because that's just fresh lemon juice, lemon zest and sugar syrup, so it just tastes amazing, you know, and smells amazing.
Nice and fresh, wonderful. I suppose that's what, you know, as parents, that's what we want to do. We want to, you know, give our kids the best quality produce we can, you know.
And we try to put the kind of minimum amount of sugar in to just bring out the flavour of the fruit. We wanted to keep it fresh and also really simple.
Wow, this is where it all happens, is it? What flavour are we making here?
Making mango and raspberry today.
Yeah. So, lime juice here, is that going in there? Can I help?
Yes, do. You can either use the juicer or use your hand, whatever
Yeah, I think I'll just cut this in there and just pop that in there. There's no seeds in here. Beautiful. And what's it like experimenting then? When you first sort of get in here, do you have loads of different fruits, you try things, or you just do one a day? Because if it doesn't work, it must be so frustrating and disappointing.
Well, the thing is, yeah, you've got to, once you've come up with, so the flavours sort of taste a bit different when they're frozen than they taste at this stage. So you mix it and taste it, but then when they're frozen, they become less sweet.
Okay.
So that they have to actually taste just on the edge of too sweet at their liquid sort of stage.
So it's almost like seasonings, like putting salt in something, isn't it?
Is.
So is that a sugar syrup you've got
This
there?
is just water, actually, because the mango's so sweet, it doesn't have more sugar added. Give that a bit of a mix, if you like. Make sure that's all evenly mixed through.
Beautiful.
So it's just the mango puree gives us a nice kind of consistency of flavour as well.
So what next then, Mel?
So we're going to blend up the raspberries with some sugar syrup. Just put them in here. And then we're going to put this in with it.
Now, that's kind of a goldeny colour.
Yeah, so this is a lovely unrefined sugar. And we just try to use kind of the minimum sugar to give it punchy flavour.
Okay.
Rather than sort of sugar overload, which you get with some sorbets and other kind of dairy-free things. I think that's probably it, yeah. Beautiful. So yeah, we just pop it through here.
The sugar syrup blended with the beautiful raspberries. There's something about that, isn't there, eh? Lovely. Look at this. I know, sorry.
No, it's so nice. Whenever I'm in here making them, I just think, oh, I do love the smells. Right, that's us done.
Okay.
Do you want to do the honours? You just need to pour this in, basically.
Okay, pour it in.
And we want it to come to, you see where the little bumps are for the mould shape of the lolly? So about, I don't know, a couple of centimetres from the top, because we need to allow space to put some raspberry in as well.
And it's kind of nice that they're, each lolly's a bit bespoke, if you know what I mean. Because, you know, we are doing a production line here, but it's not like a factory that everything has to be equal. Something wonderful about that. It's really exciting. And what about the raspberry?
So now we just drizzle a bit of raspberry.
Do I just go over the top like that?
Yeah,
or
you can do, that's fine. Just below the top of the mould, basically. Because obviously when it freezes, it expands. So we have to just keep it a bit below. But apart from that, it's all good. Right, so now we just need our sticks.
Not overfilled, okay.
So do you want to do the honours?
Yeah, I'd love to see how this works.
Basically slot it on top of there.
Yeah.
And then push that down to grip them, and then lift it out. And pop it in the moulds.
And straight in?
Yeah, that's it. Okay, and then we put them in this great big lolly freezer over here. One in. That's it. Yeah, perfect. That's it.
Fabulous. And how long will they take to freeze?
About half an hour, 40 minutes.
Quite a long time. Do I have to wait that long?
I think I can find you a lolly.
Really? My own mango and raspberry lolly? You tease. Fruity and refreshing. I think Mel is onto a winner here. Mel really is onto a winner there, isn't she? And her lollies inspired my next dish. A taste of summer. Fresh fruit, cucumber, soft herbs and granita. Now I've got some water on my stove here that's just coming up to the boil. So what I'm going to do is add some sugar, which is going to instantly dissolve. So all of that goes in there. And then I'm going to infuse it. I want to get a kind of freshness into it. So what better than a nice piece of fresh mint? Take your mint, and as soon as that sugar dissolves, all those little crystals have disappeared, then you can just drop your mint in there, and that's it. Literally, you turn off the heat and you allow that to go cold, all right? So we're not boiling it down. We're not going to create a thick, sugary syrup. We're just creating like a sweetened water, if you like, infused with the beautiful mint. And what happens, let me just bring this over here. You can see that the actual colour here has changed. It's almost like a golden colour, and that's the mint that's played that part. It's wilted down a bit, but it really has infused that sugary water. That's nice. That's what we're wanting to. Sweet. I want to add a little bit of citrus to it, so that comes in the form of my lemon. And once you've got your zest in there, we also need to extract that juice. A little bit of a squeeze. And now we've got the juice. What else are we going to flavour it with, Ains? Well, be a shame not to, eh? Half the time this is lurking around your cupboard until the next spring or summer, isn't it? It shouldn't. It's Pimm's. Quite a bit of that going in there. That's about 175 millilitres going in there. And look at that colour, isn't that lovely? Wonderful. I'm going to transfer that now into a bowl, and that's going into the freezer. And every couple of hours I go back and I just fork it up to create that fantastic granita. Let me show you. What I've got here, guys, is a couple of bowls. This one is obviously empty, all right, and this one is filled with our beautiful granita. Now, if you want to do this a little bit quicker, you can put it in a shallow dish and fork it up. So it'll probably take about, 3 or 4 hours. But if it's something like this, you have to go back every couple of hours and just fork it through. And I'm just going to transfer that into our bowl. I'm just going to pop the lid on top, and it pops back into the freezer. But every few hours, when you go in there, the crystals start to set, and then you break it up with the fork. And this has taken, this is my third time of mixing it through. So you can see that, look at that. Every few hours I go back and mix that through to break up those lovely crystals. The taste. Once you've done that, it's on to your fresh fruits. I'm going to start with my orange. And I'm just removing the skin from the orange, running the knife around the edge. Keep that knife on the angle there, just inside. Can you see that knife is just inside there? Then you work it. That's it. I'm going to segment these. Literally take your knife in there like that and push, and out that comes. Once you get started, it will just help you. You can actually just push out the segment, okay? So very gently, don't push too hard, all right? Just there, just ease that out, look, and it comes out beautifully. That's all right? And we're just going to mix that through now. Look at that, beautiful. I'm going to transfer that now to a bowl, pop that into my freezer. I've also got nectarine here. I'm just going to cut that. That's okay. And I'm just going to put that into some slices like that. Can you see that? Oh, got a lot of lovely freshness in here. And the fruits. We've all known the benefits of fruits over the years, haven't we? Nectarines, oranges in there. What about a bit of cucumber then? Nice bit of fresh cucumber. I always think it's wonderful in a salad, cucumber. Nice bit of fresh cucumber now going into our bowl. Look at that. Can you see that's all coming together now? What's going to really make it exciting is strawberries. Just pulling out that little bit, cut them in half or into quarters. And it doesn't matter if they're different sizes either, because I think it looks quite pretty in a dish when you have it higgledy-piggledy. Can you see the freshness in there? Even that cucumber just looks lovely. Perfect. I said soft herbs before, and here they are. Nice fresh bit of basil and some mint. And I'm just going to chop that up, shred that up if you like. And that's just going straight into our bowl. Love a bit of fresh herb, didn't you? Now, what about a bit of dressing here? Lemon. That's beautiful and fresh, isn't it? That looks wonderful. Okay, lemon into your bowl, and of course the juice too. That's it. Oh, squeeze that juice out. That's lovely. We want a touch of sweetness. Lovely little bit of honey. You know what my feeling is towards honey. I love that beautiful flavour that we get. That's it, just stir that round. I'm just going to give that little bit of an invigoration. Invigoration, a crustination. Here, boy, yeah. There you go, pinch of salt. Then we're going to take our dressing and drizzle that over our salad like this. Fork that through. There we are, look at that. So vibrant. Love food that's vibrant, don't you? Feeds the eyes. It says, oh, just want to get stuck in. Now it's time for my granita. Oh, lovely. Beautiful. Wow, look at that, guys. As I say, you can use all sorts of liqueurs and things to create a granita, even child-friendly ones too. Okay, look at these different glasses. You think I'm trying to be cool, it's only because the kids break everything. I've got 2 of those. I think the only one of those left, and I've got 3 of them. So I'm not doing too bad, am I? Little bit of granita, look at this, just in the base here like this, look. Just a touch of that there. And then a bit of fruit salad going in there, just once again over here. That's it. And then we can get some more of that granita. Just nestle there like that. Just keep piling it up like that. Can you see that? We've got little bits of mint that we can just pop in there like that. Fresh fruit, cucumber, and soft herb salad with a rather scrunchy, crunchy, delicious granita. Today, fruits take centre stage as we celebrate everything they have to offer. Refreshing Pimm's granita with a herb and fruit salad. Granita! Then, hit the beach to cook up chicken, perfect for a summery roast. Bring it on. But now, Joseph is off to pick some strawberries.
Is there anything that says British summertime more than a glistening red strawberry? I've come here to meet Jenny to learn about this iconic fruit. This place is absolutely beautiful. I imagine you're probably quite used to it though. How long have you been working with strawberries?
Approximately 20 years now.
Wow. That's quite a while. I mean, you know, I'm looking around and there's so many strawberries in here. And I was expecting to find them all on the floor, but they're all raised up. Why is that?
It makes it easier for our pickers. They used to obviously be on the floor, which is quite backbreaking for them. So the industry's moved forward and most growers now are above ground.
How do the pickers distinguish between which strawberries are ready and which ones aren't?
This field will be picked twice in the week, so they'll come through and pick the red berries first, obviously, and then they'll know, they're mainly experienced guys, and then they'll leave the green berries, and then later on in the week they'll be picked again when they ripen.
So that one looks beautiful. How do I do it? Where do I break it? Just here?
Yep, that's fine.
Oh my God, it's huge strawberry. Can I taste it?
Yes, you know, yeah.
That's so good. That is incredibly sweet. I'm gonna be honest with you. That might be one of the best strawberries I've ever had, genuinely. Fresh from the vine. So how many strawberries will a picker pick in a day?
A top picker could probably pick about 80 kilos an hour.
80 kilos of
Yeah.
strawberries in an hour, that's insane. That's so many strawberries. And once they've been picked, where do they go?
From the field, they'll go to our cold store where they are chilled. We try to have them there within the hour, which helps the shelf life to get the temperature down faster. From there, they'll go to our pack house where they're packed and then shipped off to the supermarket.
So how long will it be between the cooler and the supermarket shelves?
We aim for 48 hours.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, 1 hour to the cooler and 48 hours to the supermarket is great, but I think I prefer the 3-second route. I'm just gonna grab that, take that with me. I love to eat strawberries fresh, but if you're looking for a new way to prepare them, try them with a bit of white balsamic, basil, and a twist of black pepper. These strawberries are so fresh. I'm gonna chiffonade this basil, so best to eat it as quickly as possible. Now just for a drizzle of some white balsamic vinegar. And now to finish, a few twists of black pepper. And that is it, a super simple twist on serving a British summer classic. Jenny, I've made you a little something with your beautiful berries. We've got strawberries, basil, white balsamic, some black pepper. Have a taste.
Okay.
Let me know what you think.
I think they're very nice. You can definitely taste the basil. Make a very nice, maybe summer starter.
I'm glad that I've done your berries some justice. Strawberries really do say summer. Amazing fresh, and there's so much you can do with them. I can't wait to see what you do, Ainsley.
Hey, pretty cool, Joseph. Like the idea of that, a strawberry savoury salad. Oh, very nice. I know it gives us an interesting thought about how we could introduce fruit into different types of recipes. Well, this recipe is an absolute classic. It's summer pudding. Do you remember those? How can you not? I mean, it's the best. Look what I've got here. I've got some beautiful blackberries and strawberries. Just quickly snip out that bit of stalk there. Keep a few back for a little bit of garnish later on. And if some of them are too big compared to the others, and just snip them in half. All right, what we want, of course, is we want to extract all that wonderful juice. For want of a flash word, pectin. Pectin is that wonderful natural sugary thickening agent that comes from fruit. Take those, and we're going to put that into my pan. That's been on a very, very gentle heat here on the beach in St Ives. Yeah, man, Panda Beach, Panda Beach. I've also got here fresh blueberries, fresh raspberries, beautiful soft fruits. I absolutely love soft fruits. All right, not just for breakfast with your mueslis and stuff like that. They make the most wonderful desserts. Bit of sugar going in there, guys. Shake in your sugar. Yeah, yeah, shake, 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 sugar. There we are. It's all right. So all of that lovely sugar goes in there. And, of course, a bit of lemon zest. Absolute fab. And what I want you to do now, turn up that heat. Now, you're just going to allow your fruit to kind of cook down a little bit. Instantly, you'll see it starts to extract its juice because it's warming up. Can you see what's happening now? My fruit is beginning to gloss up a little bit. All right, that's the sugar melting. Started to release the juice, but if you notice, a lot of the fruits, especially the sort of slightly larger fruits, they've released a little bit of their juice, but they're still holding their shape. So I'm just going to turn off the heat now. Can you see here? That is really syrupy now. Look at all that wonderful juice here that's been collected or extracted, drawn out of that fruit. And that looks really, really beautiful. I'm going to take that now, and I'm just going to pour that into my sieve. Look at this, all of that's going in here. And of course, what we want is that. Can you see that? All of that lovely juice coming out there. That's what I want. What about that lovely bread? Well, have you ever seen anything as basic as that? Yeah, it's a good old classic white loaf, all right? Removing the crust. Don't go too fancy on me and start getting heavy with all your lovely other savoury breads or anything like that. Just a good old classic white loaf when you're making summer pudding. And what about preparing it? Well, these are a couple of cutters. Obviously, that little one there is for the bottom of my dish. I'm going to just take that, put that right at the edge, cut that out like that. You can see, so it's all about preparation. All right, we're just going to get some of those for the base of our summer pudding. And then when you talk about getting towards the top of it, something a little bit bigger. But what is it going onto the top of? Let me show you here, guys. I've got my beautiful moulds, just a nice ordinary pudding mould there, and I've greased it a little bit, just an ordinary bit of oil, you don't need butter, and then I've put it in cling film, and I've just taken that cling film and I've kind of pushed that inside like that. That's where that smaller one's going to go, and that's going to fit neatly into the bottom there. Can you see that? And this one, well, you can imagine, that's going to fit neatly on the top. Hey? I feel like a plasterer, don't I? Hey, hey. Yeah, no problem, love, I'll sort it out. Come on, let's get making these. Look what I've got here. Look at the extraction. Absolutely beautiful. I've got all that lovely juice in there, all that natural thickness going on in there, and it really is going to be fabulous. Now, I want you to take your ring there. Look at that. And I'm going to put that into my solution, and that's going in the bottom of the dish. Now, what about the edges? So I'm just going to take my bread and cut it in half. Now, have a look at this. I'm thinking I want that to go up there, so it's probably going to be a little bit too much. So we're just going to trim it a little bit, because that then fits neatly into there. Can you see? Well, that's perfect. Then we could take another slice of your bread, and literally it goes in and out and around. Okay? In quite quickly here. Don't want that to break up, and then fits in there just like a glove. Can you see how that fits in there really, really nicely? And as we've got that there now, we can start to pop in our fruit into here, just like that. Easing that fruit in there like that. Look at that, really, really lovely. And I'm going to take the one lid here, and that's going to go into our beautiful juiciness. And that will just nestle on the top there, like that. And that's my first perfect summer pudding. Going to chill that down, a little bit of cream later on. Oh boy, you're in for a bit of a treat, a summer treat, a fruity treat, and why not? Come on, let's crack on and make the rest. Beautiful. Now, once you get to that stage, you have to compress that. A little bit of a weight on top, you know what I'm talking about? Let me show you what I've got here. Every time I do something where I'm pressing something down, I always use my pestle and mortar. It's just so heavy, it's absolutely perfect. Otherwise, it just sits on the side waiting for a grind, doesn't it, eh? And when we lift it up, there we have the perfect summer puddings. I'm going to tip those out for you now. You take your tray, you put that on the top, you put a nice weight. It doesn't have to be a pestle and mortar, by the way. Be careful what you use, all right? Don't sit on it. You'll be there for hours. Okay, guys, our perfect summer puddings. Let's open them up. Here we are. And just unpicking that. That's it. Isn't that lovely? So simple. You can just take that, flip that over like that. Okay, out that comes. Beautiful, beautiful. Marvellous. So simple, isn't it? It's a fruity programme, isn't it? So let's add a few more of our lovely fruits here. Just a few of those popped around there like that, nothing too much. And I like a little icing sugar too. And I'm going to be serving that with just a touch of double cream. Summertime, summer feelings, summer pudding with summer berries. An absolute classic from me to you. Go and have a go and enjoy. Today we have frolicked in a fabulous feast of fruits and all they can bring to a meal. From my jackfruit, butterbean and okra pimento pot to a summery pudding packed with berries. It's a wonderful way to include fruit into a delicious savoury dish. It's my Persian spatchcock chicken with jewelled rice. Really, really lovely to do. First, of course, we want to get lots of flavour into our chicken. So when I'm talking about a chicken and talking about spatchcocking, what you do when you spatchcock a chicken is you cut it up the back. You can have the little small ones. Look at this. Opening that right up like that, okay? Let me just wash my hands. And then, guys, once you get to that stage, you want to kind of open up little pockets of your meat here. So I'm just getting my knife here. Can you see that? And I'm running it down all the way to the bone, basically, cutting it in like that. You really want to try and make sure that that marinade has an opportunity to get right inside that meat and give it that maximum flavour. There we are. Look at that. Perfectly prepared, ready to be enhanced with all that wonderful marinating flavour. Now, we can start on the old marinade, can't we? Look what I've got here for you guys. I've got a little bit of some cardamom pods going there. So I'm going to start off with about 6 or 8 cardamom pods. Okay, I'm just going to break it down a little bit. And we're going to crush that down. I just want the flavour of the cardamom. I want the little pods that are inside. What I don't want is these papery bits on the outside. Can you see that? We don't need that. We just need the seeds, all right? With the seeds, I'm going to just pop those into a little bit of natural Greek yogurt there. Let's crack on there. Bit of turmeric going in here. I've got some cinnamon here. 1.5 teaspoons of the turmeric, 1.5 of the cinnamon, and just half of the cumin. Normally, the cumin is the main guy, you know? Say, hey, cumin's here. But this time, the turmeric and the cinnamon are the ones that rule a little bit. Got an infusion here of saffron, where I put into just a little bit of water in there, okay? And that's really beautiful when that goes into our marinade. With the strands of saffron too, I've got a touch of honey, so I'm going to drizzle the honey in there. Beautiful. Controlled. Can you see, did you see the control way I put that in there? Beautiful. A little bit of garlic going in here too. And with a touch of lemon zest too. And I'm also going to put in the lemon juice. So we've got the zest of 1 whole lemon, and we've got the juice of 1 whole lemon too. And I'm also going to put some grated onion in there. All right. There you go. Bring that together a little bit. Look at all of the combinations of spices and flavours going on in there. All of that's going onto our chicken with the addition of a little bit of salt and some pepper too. A little touch of oil. Perfect. And then we're just going to take that and we're just going to pour that on top of our chicken. Look at this, look. All of that there goes on top. Mixing that little bit of yogurt in there, don't mind that combination of the two. Just easing that in there like that. And ideally what I'd love you to do here is to leave that for a minimum of a couple of hours. Voila, almost like magic. Here's my baby that I popped into the fridge. Look at that, guys. Look at that bit of chicken. In the fridge overnight, allowing those flavours to really penetrate into that meat. I'm literally going to take that. I'm removing some of the excess now. Why? Because I'm going to slap that right in the middle of those medium hot coals, which is still quite hot. And then we'll turn it over for a little bit more, another 10 minutes. Then we'll pull it to one side and cook it for a good 40, 45 minutes, making sure that all the juices run clear before we rest it, then tuck into it later. Look at that. Instantly, it's going to go almost onto the hot section of the barbecue. So look, this has been spatchcocked. That's totally opened up there. It's going to cook a lot quicker. Now, I put that at the centre of the barbecue, which is really hot, the hottest part of the barbecue. Okay, we'll turn that over in a second. Ideally, we're going to be cooking that for about 45, 50 minutes. Just tidy up here, and then we get to the main part of this. We're talking fruit. Look at our chicken here now. We'll turn that. Beautiful. Mmm. That's looking really, really good. And then we're going to give that another 5 minutes, put that to one side, and slowly cook that and finish it off. But what about that beautiful fruit that's going to be incorporated into my rice? Rice that I previously cooked here. There you go. You can see little flecks of saffron in there. Okay, so that's saffron that's gone into the rice whilst it's cooked. Lovely and cold now. Look at that. Well, what are we going to add to it? Well, I've got some lovely sour cherries here. Look at those. They're going to go into my rice, okay, along with some toasted flaked almonds. Got some pistachios here, but they're whole pistachios. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a chop, okay. Dropping that straight on top of the almonds, but more important, those lovely cherries there. Look at that. And what about this, eh? Love a bit of pomegranate. I'm just going to get a wooden spoon and then give that a little spanky. Just tap that on that kind of leathery skin, and you can see what's happened underneath. The seeds start cascading out, but without all of those other little bits and pieces that are so annoying when you eat a pomegranate. There you go, look at that, absolutely lovely. Any of those bitter bits of skins, you can just pull those out like that Get rid of that. That all goes in there. The freshness of all that wonderful fruit. I just think it tastes great. There you go, beautiful. Shall we just turn that chicken over and pull it to one side now? Here we go. There we are, looking really, really good. On the hot part of our grill here now. Shove that over there, all right? Not so hot over there, but it will cook perfectly. Fantastic. Close the lid. And once you've done that, then you can take those little jewels, I like to call them, and incorporate them along with those other berries. Can you see them? Look at those sour cherries in there, just mixing in with all the nuts and everything else. Real character in the rice there. And we've got some orange, again, that orange zest that goes in there. All the oils that you get that come out of the citrus skin just add to the whole flavour of that wonderful Persian jewelled rice. Pop that there, a little bit of fresh mint. I'm just going to chop that up. Quick aid before it blows away. Get it in there, my son. Oh, the love and life of cooking outside. I love it. There's it, guys. I'm not finished. I'm going to make a wonderful dressing to go with my jewelled rice. A little bit of seasoning, a little touch of salt, a little touch of pepper. Look at those colours. It's exciting, isn't it, when you get all those wonderful colours that are in there. Fab. Now, let's have a look at my chicken here. Now you can see that's been cooking. That's beautiful, isn't it, eh? Oh, separating ever so slightly. Now that's been cooking for a good 45 minutes now, and you can see that the breast, lovely and tender, everything's cooked through. That's what we're looking for. Slightly charred on the outside, that doesn't matter, because when you pull that skin back, wow, you've got all that lovely flavours that have come from the marinade. And I'm finishing this off with a lovely dressing. I've got a little bit of olive oil that I'm putting into my bowl. To that, I've got pomegranate molasses. If you haven't got the pomegranate molasses, a little bit of honey will do. Now, I've also got here some spices. So just a touch of cinnamon going in there. And I've also got something called sumac. Great, spicy but citrusy, lots of wonderful flavours there, and invigorating that. A little bit of S&P going in there too. Fabioso. And then I just want to take a little bit of that, and we're going to sort of drizzle some of that onto our salad. Okay, and then just drag that through. I'm going to move that gradually onto my board, and I'm just dragging all those lovely flavours through. Last but not least, let me tell you about this. Sometimes when you serve food, you need a little bit of things like chicken or something like that. You just need to know that you can have a little dip or something on the side. Well, that's exactly what I prepared here. What I've got here is some yoghurt that I've mixed with a bit of rose harissa. Look at that, that's lovely. Touch of mint, nothing else, and that's brilliant. Love a little bit of that. Let's finish that off now. That's beautiful. Look at our chicken, looking spectacular. Ah, look at this, beautiful, guys. Okay, you see that? Really just lovely bits of juicy chicken. That looked great there already, just yummy. Lots of lovely rice, just allowing your rice to cascade there like that. And then we can get our chicken pieces and we can pile those up too. So you've got some lovely, tender, beautiful pieces of chicken just easing in here. Fantastic. Beautiful. Doesn't that look yummy? And I'm not finished yet. I've got some dried rose petals. Can you see it? Just about hits the chicken. I've also got some crispy onion bits here. I've also got the addition of some more pomegranates here, just kind of cascading on there like that. Can you see that? Along with a bit of the old chunky mint. I'm just going to shove in there like that, just to kind of say, come on, feed me now. And here's my dip with the yoghurt, rose harissa, and a little bit of mint. Well, there you have it, my Persian chicken with a fruity jewelled rice. Absolutely perfect for a summery roast or bang it on the barbecue. Choice is yours. Fruits and berries can add amazing flavours and textures to your savoury and sweet dishes. I certainly hope I've inspired you to get out into the kitchen and get a little bit fruity. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.